Hey guys, welcome back. This is Aaron with Super Sister Fitness. We're going to break down a few fundamentals on how to effectively do a handstand. All you're going to need is your own body weight, a wall will be really helpful, and a little open space. Let's go. My name is Aaron Alexander. I host the Align podcast, which we get to do interviews with the world's thought leaders in all things movement and wellness. And I've been doing hands-on therapy and physical therapy with clients for the last 14 years. In that time frame, I've become enamored with handstands, and that's what we're going to break down is some of the fundamentals that I've learned along the way on how to effectively do those things. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment below, leave us a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you want more content like this. Let's go work on this handstand. Come on. Here we go. Let's get started working on these handstands. So first thing that we're going to play with is actually a little bit easier version of the handstand. We're going to do a reverse handstand. So what that's going to look like is you standing on your feet and starting to play with some of the fundamentals that you'll be thinking about as you're actually doing the handstand. Like, big example is keeping your belly in more of this like hollow type position. The tendency for people in the handstand is to jump up and go into this position. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to avoid that and maintain this integrity, this line or stack from your head down to your feet. So from here, you're going to maintain that contact. Imagine there's a line pulling the back of your head up to the ceiling, and then you're gonna start to come up onto your tippy toes. From here, as you feel comfortable, I'll face you guys. As you feel comfortable from here, you can start to raise your arms up over your head, reaching high, 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 high. And then from here, if this is doable for you, you can start to walk. So just exploring, keeping that integrity through your body the whole entire time. Obviously, I find handstanding easier than doing this, so it's not for the weary. So playing with that motion first, just to maintain that length through the body, hollow position. None of this stuff is doing the handstand. Next thing that people end up, oftentimes the reason that we do this excessive lordotic curve in the handstand is because we lack range of motion in the shoulders. So when we go up into that shoulder range of motion, we usually stop here and then we into that position. If that's your handstand, you'll never really get a true, proper, stacked handstand. So what we're gonna do is come into, start opening those shoulders from the ground. And so we're just going to reach our hands. We're gonna have the thumbs facing up, like we're hitchhiking behind us. And you're gonna start to slowly reach those hands forward into kind of like a puppy pose in yoga. And you might feel some little cracks and pops through your spine as you do this. Imagine you're creating length through those fingertips, getting nice and long. You can drop your head down to the ground and take a few breaths from here. The breath is the king of the nervous system, Iyengar said. And so as you're in these positions, just focusing on that nice, easy breath. Every time you take that breath in, you can kind of relax the stretch a little bit, and on the breath out, you can start to elongate a little bit. You can start to bring the chin down as well, opening up the front of the throat. And you can even play with alternating those hands. So reaching more onto the right, reaching more onto the left, and then slowly pulling yourself back up. From there, next thing that we're gonna play with is starting to work into this protraction position and then elevation as we get up into the handstand. The tendency for people as they do the handstand is to collapse. So what we're gonna do is focus just from a simple push-up position on how to be able to really take out all of the slack out of your joints. So what I mean by that, the tendency as we do a push-up, for example, is to kind of go into these type positions. You'll see the scapula start to jut backwards, disengagement of all the back of the shoulder girdle. So what we want to do is just start with this, pushing all of your air out and poof, 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 puff up that back of the shoulder blade. So your spine is really like a turtle. You're poof, push, 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 push. You're getting hollow as you can in your midsection, and then relax for a second, take a breath in, and then and now from here you can start to play and start to bring the legs up, out, and then breathe in, and then up, and then out, and you can alternate with that back and forth, about 3 repetitions on each side. from there, you can start to take it up into almost like a down dog type position, starting to look a little bit more like a handstand. The elbows are gonna stay in, and you're going to do a similar thing. So take a nice deep breath in, and then the breath out. Starting to slowly create that length through the shoulder girdle, so that when you do get to the point where you actually do have the integrity through the rest of your body to hold that handstand, you have the range of motion through the shoulders and to be able to actually create that line. Last thing we're gonna play with is just going into hops. So really simple. We're not actually even gonna go up into the handstand. With this, we're gonna just start playing with getting good, strong, grounded contact with our hands on the ground. This is a really important detail if you want to hold a good handstand. So you're going to start off nice wide hand grip, and your hands are going to be about shoulder width with your shoulders, and you're going to imagine you have 4 corners of your hands. So I want you to grow out through the thumb, grow out through the back of the heel here, grow out through the pinky, grow out through the back of the heel on the opposite side, and then from there I want you to actually pull all that together. So you're literally, it's like you're grabbing the ground underneath you, so you can see the whites around your fingers. It's almost like it's starting to get white around there. So you're pushing all that blood out. You're really grabbing the ground, grabbing the ground, grabbing the ground. And then from there, you're gonna have that, it's gonna be helpful with actually engaging through the rest of the shoulder. And then from here, once you have that contact with the ground, you can start to play with just starting to pop yourself up a little bit. So I want you to keep the arms straight as you're doing that. And I want you to just start playing with what it feels like to have weight in your hands. All right, so with time, you'll get really comfortable with that, and you're not gonna buckle yourself each time you do that and compromise the rest of the body. So doing about 5 to 8 reps or so of that, just getting comfortable with bearing that weight into your hands. And then the next progression that I'd recommend is going into actually walking your feet up a wall. So that's what we will lead into now. We're gonna have to go find a wall to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks. So highly recommend you guys use a wall to walk your feet up, because it'll keep integrity through your midsection. Again, the tendency for people when they do a handstand is to throw their legs over and they end up breaking into this hyperlordosis. So we're gonna do the opposite of that. So we're gonna come up against a wall. We're gonna keep that same contact like we mentioned with the hands before. So keeping all 4 corners of the hands in contact with the ground and grabbing that ground. And then you're gonna slowly start to walk your feet up. For a lot of people, just this will be more than enough. If that's the way it feels, that's totally fine. And you can just come back down and start playing with that. That in and of itself is a really great exercise. So from here, I'm gonna walk a little bit further away actually. So from here, you're going to slowly walk yourself up the wall, keeping that integrity through the midsection the whole time. I recommend having maybe a spotter behind you. And then from here, I'm keeping that midsection tight, and I can slowly start to play with coming off of the wall and keeping that midsection tight. So the tendency, if you don't have the wall, is to, when you come back and fall, you want to fall into a position that will throw you into this. When you walk your feet up the wall, if you fall into that position, you'll end up going to a position that you don't really want to so much. So you want to actually fall back into a more hollow position. So highly recommend that. Literally just going up and back and forth, up and down. If you don't hold the handstand from there, that's totally fine. Just going up into that position, feeling what it feels like, and then walking yourself out. If you do that 2 to 3 times a week, maybe just 3 or 4 repetitions, with time, I would say, it depends on your skill level, but with time, you will get the handstand. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Aaron Alexander, host of the Aligned Podcast. If you want more from me, check out the links below. Remember to like and subscribe and leave us comments, and I look forward to seeing your handstands.